begin to talk. Are we a Pepsi school? All right, we're good then. Okay. I think beyond, the schematics of things and things that didn't go right or wrong, I think beyond all that, um, it's very impressive to me to watch these guys under all the adversity come out with all the energy. And to me, they were the most excited team to play that game and had no reason to be. And so it's a testament to Mike building a culture here, picking the right kind of guys that will fight through adversity and come together as a team. And I think that I was really impressed with that part. Had a lot of fun. They were having fun, and that's really what it's all about. This is just a game at the end of the day. And, they call it game so you can have fun doing it, right? And I think our guys had fun. I think the coaches had fun. I just really enjoyed watching how they rallied around each other and how they played as a unit and picking each other up, encouraging each other when things didn't go well. And it was really good. I think we got to continue, obviously, to take the momentum from the first half into the second and push through and keep the train rolling, so to speak, in the second half. But really pleased with the guys on their adverse situations, and we're going to stop saying that because we're going to move forward. And the next thing is it's not going to be an excuse. And just really proud of the guys and proud of the staff because they spent a ginormous amount of time preparing these guys, and it's not easy. And but I think it's pretty cool how everybody keeps it compartmentalized and just focuses on the job and their kids and work. And I think it's kind of special. I hate it we lost, but it's a phenomenal building block for next one. All right. I told the kids, just you guys go sulk for an hour or whatever and then forget about it. And let's learn from it and let's build for the next one. Let's go to Tucson and get ready to roll. All right. Is that good enough? That's kind of how I feel. All right. Questions?
Doug, on Wednesday, you mentioned the word fun, and you did again just now. Is that kind of how the mentality of the team was from Tuesday on? And some of the plays you did today, in the first half especially, looked fun.
Yeah, I drew him on a bar napkin. No, I'm kidding. We've had some of that stuff kind of in the the playbook. We just felt like it's a good time to kind of let Sam have his time to do some of the stuff that he can do. As y'all can see, that kid can throw the football. I mean, a lot of people have a receiver that played eighth grade quarterback that can kind of throw it, and then you got a guy that's a power 4 quarterback starter. And there's a kid I recruited at TCU, who's a QB. His arm talent's off the chart, but made to move the receiver. So moving forward, I mean, if I'm a defense, he's on the field, you better back up a little bit or base up a little bit because that kid's a weapon. As y'all saw.
Even though you guys use some of those gadget plays, trick plays, whatever you want to call them, offensively, especially in the first half, you guys did some very fundamental things. Just ran the ball straight ahead. I mean, it felt like the offense did some things that maybe people had been wanting to see. What did you see out of the offense in totality?
Well, I think we just happened to click just right and kind of figure some stuff out. I don't think it was anything that we weren't doing before. Let's see. We threw for 290. What did we rush for? Anybody know? Where is it? 160 ish. Yeah. 160. Come on. But yeah, I just think that it just kind of, I don't know. It's just, it's, you got to factor in this stuff. I mean, a lot of these guys, they weren't here. They haven't been here very long. And I think they just now, it's kind of soaking in a little bit of our system and our verbiage and communication. And I think it just kind of clicked a little bit there in that first half. And I think, again, it's just going to be a phenomenal building block moving forward. I think we're just going to get better and better and better as we go. I think we got to continue to work at getting healthy and, kind of what we're after is let's be fresh in that fourth quarter and close it out a little bit better. That'll be our kind of mantra moving forward too.
Talk about there were times, especially in the first half, looked like Baylor was kind of punching you, but you guys responded and and answered their punch, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good football team. I mean, you watch them against Auburn, should have won the game. Auburn's a good football team. Um, they played some close games against some good opponents, and they're a good football team. They got a really good coach. My hat's off to them. So yeah, you're gonna receive some shots from them, and for us, we got to match them and fight back. And I think we did that for the most part. In the second half, we had a couple series offensively there. We were 3 and out, and then you could feel a little bit of it kind of slipping away from you at that point. And I think they hit a couple big plays. But I mean, if you go back and look at any football game, it's about 6 or 7 plays that kind of decide the outcome. And in that game, there was probably a couple of shots that they hit that made a difference, and there's some stuff that we didn't hit that probably made the difference. They just hit a few more than we did. But again, just really excited about moving forward here. We got 8 games left. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to be fun to watch these kids just keep developing and getting better.
Running off the field at halftime, you were pumping up the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, it was a bunch of kids. It was awesome. I thought it was great. It was in the student section, right? Yeah, that was fun. It's just good to see those people. You in the day and age of being able to sit in your bedroom and play on your cell phone all day long, I just appreciate kids that come out and live a life and put their phones down and enjoy a sporting event and have fun and be a college kid. I mean, it's just awesome to watch them just be a kid like when we were in college. You know what I mean? It's just kind of refreshing to me. And they were excited, and it just kind of got me pumped up, and I enjoyed the moment there watching those guys. It made me feel good to know that they were excited about what was happening, so.
Aside from the X's and O's, what went on during the game? What were your emotions like today, just being in this position?
I don't know, not any different really to me. Just coaching here in general is an honor because I played here and coached here before. So I don't think it's really any different for me. I mean, I kind of let it slip a few times. I had to communicate to the referees because I've never done that before. But pretty much it wasn't that much different to me. It was fun being down on the sidelines.
You mentioned the excitement that your team played with. Was there a moment before today, during the week, that you sensed that coming?
Yeah, I think once everything kind of settled in and we just prepared and I talked to it about this every day. I said you beat Baylor on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you beat them on Thursday, and then you beat them on Friday, and they kind of bought into that a little bit, I think. And I think those guys did a great job preparing. I think we had a pretty good game plan going into it, and I think they were excited about the game plan. And I mean, it was just fun to watch. And yeah, by the time we got to about Wednesday or Thursday, you could feel kind of a vibe a little bit with these guys. And I just hope that continues moving ahead.
Can you talk a little bit about Trent's game, just the way he ran the football, and show a little versatility?
Trent's a load, Trent, and I'm going to tell this to him to his face, like spring ball is like, he's a big, pretty guy, a little soft, I don't know. But shoot, he runs hard. He runs behind his pads now. He looks a lot better. He's he can throw a football. He can catch a football. He's got as good a set of hands as anybody. And he's a big body. I mean, he's 235, 240, whatever he is. And I mean, that's a good 1-2 punch like him and Fields, because Fields is shifty and slip through little creases, and this guy can just hammer you. So really proud of him. You could kind of see it a little bit in Oregon, until he got hurt. And he's turned the corner. And I'm not saying he's got it all figured out, but I'm proud of him because, we need every man we can get to contribute. And there's a time there I didn't know if he was going to be one of those guys, and now it's obvious to me that he is. So proud of him.
You mentioned kind of some of the physical traits that Sam has, that let him play like power conference quarterback. In terms of the number of plays y'all let him have today, is it easier to trust a guy like that mentally when he has that experience at quarterback?
Yeah, totally. Like I'm at ease. And the one thing we got to do with a guy like that is not overcoach him. Because you're not going to get him in a quarterback room and teach him and dot every I and cross every T in the world of quarterback play. You're not going to do it, all right? He's got a lot of stuff it's like residue from the last 10 years of him playing the position. So what we need to do with that kid is get out of our own way and let him eat and give him a design. And he's the kind of guy that it can break down. He can still kind of make things happen with the ball. So there's no sense in overloading him with information and having paralysis through analysis. But I think what we do with him is let it be simple and create some anxiety on the defensive side of the ball and just let him be a playmaker, which is what he is to me. I mean, great kid. He's come a long way. Transitioning from QB to receiver is hard. You're a quarterback. You stand in one spot, throw the ball all day long, and yell at your receivers for dropping passes. And all of a sudden, you're out there doing 7,000 yards every day at practice. That's hard. So he's transitioned really well. I'm not saying he's, I don't know who to compare him to, but he's a nice player to have on your team. He's a Swiss Army knife.
That said, did you feel like they adjusted to some of the things you threw out in the first half? It seemed like you got
Well, we actually kind of ran out of trick plays with him. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point I said, let's just run them again. But they did a good job in the third quarter. They came out, played some man and dropped 8 and did some things to kind of take some of the gadgetry away. And then we kind of realized it and kind of ran the ball a little bit there. And the one long one to Rigby on the slant was actually an RPO off a run game. It wasn't a pass. But so, yeah, we need to go back. It's going to be an opportunity for us to kind of figure out what we're good at, what we're not good at, and just polish this thing up and get better. You know what I'm saying?
Coach,
Who do you write for?
I write for Yale College.
Attaboy, let's go. Love Yale College. I never once figured out the crossword puzzle my entire college career. I sat down every day, and I said, this time I'm going to do it. Never happened. That's a tough one. Tell them to dial that down a little bit.
What were your thoughts on the run game today with Allen and Fields?
Yeah, again, I mean, it's a good 1-2 punch combination. I think what we need to do is maybe simplify in the run game a little bit and just get dialed on 5 things that we could be really, really good at. Maybe had a little bit too much there in the run game, but some of it we felt like it was necessary just based on the defense we were seeing and how they were aligned. But, yeah, man, we just got to, obviously you got to run football to win championships and win games, but, you got to play catch too. So, all right, man, thank you. Thanks, guys.
how we doing? Everybody good? Get an opportunity to talk to you guys. First off, I want to thank the fans that were at the walk and at the stadium. These guys they bust their tail. They're working. I've been here since really mid-December, and we knew this was going to be a major overhaul. And I like the guys that we brought in. We just got to continue to work, and we got to continue to develop. I think the biggest thing when you look at our defense is we've got to become harder to score on. Okay, if you went through every drive, okay, that ended up in a touchdown, there were too many easy things that happened that we weren't hard to score on. Okay, and that's a little bit of the history of, if you look at our home games, for example, we've given up touchdowns early in those games. Okay, we don't have a contract with who we're playing, so I can't tell you the exact way they're going to run the plays. So you have to rely on your concepts to get through the down. But what's interesting about our guys is if you went through the previous 2 games, okay, the second, third, and fourth quarters, we didn't give up a touchdown, okay? And a little bit of that's the character of our team and our players. They bust their tail, but you also have the video. You can show them this is how, because once you get to about the later in the second quarter, you kind of know how the plays are coming and how to play the plays. So we play them a little bit better, okay? So the biggest emphasis has been that we have to start faster, okay? And in this game in particular, for example, first drive, we give a touchdown, okay? We battled, and if you go back and look at the scoring drives, we had them to 2nd 11 plus, 3rd and 11, okay? Well, those are advantage situations for us, so we've got to learn to finish and get off the field, okay? Then you get to the second half, and we give up 17 points, and one of them was just on a deep ball off of a 2nd and 11 play. So it really can't happen, okay? And then the next touchdown came, we had them 3rd and 12. So my point is I do see some good things, and look, if I was a fan, I would be frustrated. I totally get that. Because, the one thing I have been impressed with is the passion of the fan base here. We got to continue to work. I do think these guys grind. I think they work the sideline to try to be better. They do take coaching. I think that's a product of the way we played some of the second and third and fourth quarters. And even here, like I said, we ended up giving up 17 points. And the 2 touchdowns, we had 1 second and 11, we had 1 third and 12. So when you say, hey, what are you doing? We have to figure out that you have to understand, situational defense. We got to do a better job with situational defense. We have to understand what's going to happen and how they're going to attack you in those areas and be able to play. And our guys did prepare well this week. Okay. I got no issues. We prepared, they worked. I appreciate their effort. And I told them that in the locker room. I mean, as a coach, you have to tell players the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to sugarcoat anything, because if you do that, you never get where you want to go. We've lost 1 conference game. Okay. Now we got to go on the road. But man, I mean, we our offense was moving it. Our offense was scoring. I mean, we got to do our job and find a way to create. We created 2 turnovers. We had a 4th and 2 stop, and then we got another turnover to create +2. Because I told the guys right before the game, and really yesterday, I said, this thing's going to come down to 3 things. Okay, number 1 is missed tackles. In other words, how do we tackle, and then how does our offense make guys miss? So who's going to win that battle? Okay. Then it's going to come down to turnover ratio. Okay. We need to be +1. If they get 1, we get 2. If they get 2, we get 3. But that's the mindset. And then the last thing is explosive plays. And you have to limit those, because if you limit the explosive plays, you're going to get people to 3rd down to allow you to get a chance to get off the field. And I think that's where our emphasis needs to be moving forward and we've really condensed things over the last couple weeks. And, at the end of the game, like with a team like this, with the RPO, you have to pick your poison. Meaning, okay, if we play single high, then you're going to have to stop them outside. Well, we end up with 2 PIs, which, that goes back and forth. I mean, they had a couple. I mean, they chose to call the ones on us. And I'm not saying they weren't, but I'm just saying that you're going to have those contested throws down the field, and you're going to have to make those plays. That's why if you're in a little bit more of a split safety deal, you can force them to run it, and then, try to get in situations where, you create a holding like we did when we had them backed up, or you get them to a 2nd 7+ that way. So I think we just got to continue to work. I think we got to understand the style of play in which we got to play relative to who we are right now, and keep battling. So with that, I'll ask, open for questions.
Todd, you've coached at the highest level. It's been an emotional week. Have you ever had anything similar to what happened this week?
Not really. First of all, I think the world of Coach Gundy. I've been in a lot of programs, and I even told him this is by far, from a cultural standpoint, one of the top programs I've ever been in. And if you look at some of the coaches like Nick Saban, Frank Beamer that I've been around, this is as tops as there is. Okay. So from a cultural standpoint, this program was really good. Okay. When it happens that quickly, you're preparing for practice. It's, how do you handle the players? And at the end of the day, when you look, we brought a lot of players in. Okay. And I talked to guys about coming here and our vision for them and how we would help develop them moving forward. Okay. Well, obviously they have questions on how that's going to affect them. So the players are the most important thing. And I've had conversations with a few of them of what we need to do from here moving forward to allow them to continue to develop. Because the most important thing is to play. That's how you create value for yourself. That's how you help us as a team. And I was really proud of the way those guys, handled that. When you're in coaching like this for the amount of time I've been in it, you see things like that. And, you got a job to do. And we really tried to just focus on our job, and that was getting ready to play Baylor.
Last 2 will get to players.
Todd, when you talk about the slow starts,
Mm-hmm.
has there been a consistent issue in that?
Well, I think that it goes to concepts. Meaning, like I said, look, I mean, I cannot tell you exactly how the plays are going to come out, but it can be 1, 2, 3. It might add a fourth guy to the strong side. Okay, so you have to be able to understand who's on 1, who's on 2, who's on 3, and if 4 comes, how we pushing. Does that make sense? Now, once we see the play and we understand who the spots are, well then, it's a little bit easier. But there's a lot of different ways you can dress things up, and that's what offenses do. They run the same plays and they dress them up. So, I think we just got to continue to work on our concepts and continue to get better. And if we do that, I think we can have something to be proud of moving forward and give the fans something to be proud of.
How do you think that Doug handled this week as
So
interim?
Doug, I was so happy that Doug got the interim role because he bleeds orange. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's the perfect guy for the job. He gave good energy to the whole team. So I think it was really good, and I think he did a great job. And like I told our guys, man, we got to get a stop. We had that game close a lot of times. And if we can get the games that close, but, man, don't give up the explosive plays, like we can be in a game, go make a play, So we'll evaluate how we play those situations moving forward. But at the end of the day, you want to play percentages. You know what I'm saying? So when you have those situations come up, what is the best percentage to give yourself a chance to win the down? And, even though we felt like we were in the right thing, it didn't come out our way. So we got to, think about that. But we got to keep the guys playing hard. We got to make them understand to keep developing, because there's a lot of young guys still playing that, for example, Ike is a guy that, he's young. He's still playing. So we got to keep those guys, developing. And, we just got to figure out, how to be hard to score on.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Y'all take care.